Hey, I'm selling chickens, but not today. Today we're taking a look at a new mini box that will be releasing really soon. And as a noobs man myself, let's take a look and see, does this box concern new players? So, let's take a look at it. Dimension of the Wizards. I got nothing to say about that. The next level spellcaster and psychic strategies. New MADOLCHE and NATURIA cards are here as well, just by the way. So, if you know me, you probably don't, but I love MADOLCHEs. Does that matter though? No, I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, no it doesn't. So, let's go ahead and skip the featured cards and just go right into the box. What do we have here? So, main card here we have ARCANITE Magician. It's a spellcaster synchro effect, synchro monsters. As a new player, you might not have a lot of synchro support, keep that in mind. That said, this is a 3, 6, 7 star card, so junk synchron along with, what did I say, 7? Along with the 2-star anything. Not impossible, but if you want to run spellcasters too, there's not a lot of 2-star spellcasters out there, I think, but so you don't have to use the spellcasters. So along with looking very spicy card art, what does it do? If this card is synchro summoned, place 2 spell counters on it. This card gains 1000 attack for each spell counter on it. So you can also remove a spell counter from your field and target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Boom, like that. So it's kind of like a more advanced breaker, the Magical Warrior, which is also an ultra rare card. I don't think you really need it though. Like, at its strongest, it's 2400 attack if you don't use its destruction effects. I don't think running spellcasters right off the bat is a good idea anyway, so I would say no. Next we have Psychic Wielder. Yeah, Wielder. So this is a psychic and it's a tuner. If you control a level 3 monster other than this card, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. So it's a free, if you have a monster out, you can just bring another one out on the field. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way if this card is sent to the graveyard. So, if it's used as a synchro material, you can target one monster on the field with less attack than the synchro monster and destroy it. So if you have another psychic card, you can pop this one out. It's a free special summon. Free special summons are always good. Even if you don't plan to use it as synchro material, it's still always really good. So, it's a psychic. If you want to build psychics, it's not a bad idea. Psychics are a pretty strong archetype all around, and they do pretty good decks, but you're going to want more psychic cards. And psychic cards are held a lot by Espa. You're going to want to have Espa, the character, because he has Jinzo, and just look in the other boxes, see what other psychic cards are in there, and see if that's worth the investment on your part. Although last time we reviewed all the boxes, the mini boxes, and I came to the conclusion that the best bet for us today is to either go with Kawaki's or Karakuri's. If you wanted, but you know, you could have always done whatever you wanted. You could have gone starter decks, gotten that Blue Eyes Dank Dragon, and well, whatever you wanted, really. But, you know, following that advice, if you have Kawaki's, if you have Karakuri's, Psychic Wielder isn't really going to help much. But then again, it is a special summon, and special summons can be used in anything, really. So, the last ultra rare card, we have Dimensional Prison. We have what looks like a Gogiga Gagagigo fighting off with, I want to say Freed? Doesn't matter. What does the card do? Well, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, target it and banish it. Simple effect. it's pretty good. Very versatile card. At this point in time, you probably don't have a lot of back row. Is this a great back row? Not really. There are other back row cards, like Wall of Destruction. I'd say that's a better card, in my opinion. Maybe even Mirror Wall, to be honest. Mirror Wall's, yeah, I'd say Mirror Wall's better because it doesn't target. There's just better cards to use than this, but if you don't have much back row, just throw it in there if you get it, you know. It's nothing to write home about, but it's not great. So those are the 3 ultra rare cards. As a new player who doesn't have much, it's probably not worth delving in for these 3 cards. Now let's take a look at the super rares. Super rares are also good. Well, what do we have? We have an unloaded picture. We have NATURIA LANDOISE. So Naturias, they're getting a lot of support nowadays, but you probably don't have it. If you want to go for those Naturias though, I'd say this is a pretty decent card. While this card is face up on the field, you can send 1 spell card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation of an effect's monster effect and destroy it. It's not a bad effect. It is 7 stars as well, so keep that in mind. Gaia Knights, the Force of Earth. It's just Gaia. It's just Gaia, you know, hamming it up. Elemental Hero Escurido? Alright, Elemental Hero the Burrito must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned any other ways. This card gains 100 attack for each Elemental Hero monster in your graveyard. Bad, who cares? Millennium Eyes Restrict. Once per turn, while your opponent activates a monster effect, this acts as a quick effect, target 1 effect monster your opponent controls in their graveyard. Text is a little small here. Equip that target to this card you control. This card gains attack equal, so relinquished effect. Monsters with that equipped monster's name cannot attack. Also, their effects on the field and their activated effects are negated. So it seems pretty good. You need relinquished and any effect monster. That's pretty versatile. But I don't see its effect being used very often, to be honest. It's just it's just like a second relinquished, you know, form that you can use when an opponent activates a monster effect. You know, you just hope they have an effect monster in their grave. And until then, it's just gonna have 0 attack. So I don't know, if you have a relinquished love, then, you know, I just throw it in there. Why not? Just add a polymerization, maybe, or just use like Jaden's skill or someone like that. Yeah, why not? Just throw it in there. But other than that, who really cares? Glyph, the Phantom Bird. You can discard this card and add what? 1 Golden Castle of Stromberg. That's right, Golden Castles. That means, yep, the Disney cards are here. Look, I don't really know what that means, to be honest, because the last time I ever heard of the Disney cards coming in, nobody knew. They weren't released in America yet, so I don't know anything about them really. There's speculation that they're going to be very good, but who can really tell at this point? All we can do is read the cards here and see what happens. So, you know, if we're going to speculate, let's see what we're up against. Glyph, the Phantom Bird. Discard this card, add Golden Castle Stromberg from your deck to your hand. So it's a search card for a Golden Castle. If this card is normal special summoned, you can target 1 card in your opponent's spell and trap zone, destroy it. So special summon it, pop off a card. You can only use this once per turn, so it's a great card. It's your searcher. We have more Naturias. Naturia Mantis. Your opponent special summons a monster. You can send one Naturia monster from your hand to the graveyard to destroy that monster. So, it's a good Naturia card. I would say a great Naturia card. MADOLCHE Magaline. I don't know food. Okay. I love MADOLCHEs though. Oh, they're so good. I'm delving in this box for them. So if you don't know the MADOLCHE effect, they all share this effect. If a card when a MADOLCHE card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, it just goes right back into your deck. That's what happens with all of them. Nothing goes in the graveyard. When this card is normal or flip summoned, you can add one MADOLCHE monster from your deck to your hand. So this is a major searcher card. You can bring out your Pudding Sis. Easy. You can maybe run one Pudding Sis now. Searcher cards are always great. Like, they're just nothing to sleep on. Next we have MADOLCHE HOOTCAKE. HOOTCAKE. I like saying HOOTCAKE. HOOTCAKE. When this card in your possession is destroyed, the MADOLCHE effect, aka you can target one monster in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon one MADOLCHE monster from your deck. Except HOOTCAKE, of course. And you can only do that once per turn. So, target one monster in your graveyard, banish it. You can special summon any MADOLCHE monster, so you can bring out the Pudding Sis. The only issue is, remember, MADOLCHEs don't like being in the graveyard. So, you can either play yourself and get a MADOLCHE card in the graveyard and hope you run into this HOOTCAKE. That way you can banish it, bring out the Pudding Sis, and bam, your graveyard's empty. You're good to go. Or you can run non-MADOLCHE cards, monsters, put in your grave. Do the HOOTCAKE thing itself. MADOLCHE does have other cards that banish monsters in the graveyard, but I don't know, it seems a little tricky. You're gonna have to use the full engine of MADOLCHEs, but it can be pretty good. Can be good. Next we have Defender, the Magical Knight. Man, I remember this card. If this card is normal summon, place a spell counter on it. Once per turn, if a spellcaster monster on the field would be destroyed, you can just remove that spell counter for each of those monsters instead. So it's like a one-turn protection. It's got good defense too. If you set it, your opponent's going to have to struggle a little bit to get rid of it. And it also says if a spellcaster monster on the field would be destroyed, period. So that's by card effect and battle as well, I believe. It's a good protection for your spellcasters, but like I said, man, those spellcasters aren't doing too hot. Okay, next up, Rocket Hand. Rocket Hand. Target one attack monster you control with 800 or more attack. Equip this to that target, it gains 800 attack. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard, then target one monster on the field and destroy it. Then change the attack of the monster this card was equipped to 0. Also, its battle position cannot be changed. Okay, so it basically shuts down your monster after that. It's fine. If you're like in desperate need to pop off a card, it's fine, but you're gonna leave your monster in a pretty vulnerable position after that. You're gonna wall of destruction your own monster. And people don't tend to like that. Psychic Life Trancer? It's a synchro. Once per turn, you can remove from play one psychic type monster from your graveyard to gain 1200 life points. Who cares? What are life points? Come on. And I've referenced this card before. Prinzessin! Prinzessin. If this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one Pumpkin Carriage. Yeah, you're seeing some references here. from your hand or deck. Then, if Golden Castle of Stromberg is in a field zone, you can equip 1 glass slippers from your deck to this card. You can only use this effect of Prinzessin once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can target 1 glass slippers equipped to this card and 1 face-up monster on the field. Equip that glass slippers to that target. So a lot going on here. Basically, this card wants to attack directly. That's the basic basis of it. So next, Iron Hans. It's a warrior. This card is summoned. You can special summon 1 Iron Knight from your deck. If Golden Castle Stromberg is not in a field zone when this effect resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. You can only use the effect of Iron Hans once per turn. Gains 1000 attack for each Iron Knight you control while Golden Castle Stromberg is in a field zone. So, more Golden Castle Strombergs. Let's see, let's start speeding this up a bit, because this is taking a bit of time. So when your opponent normal summons or sets a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's cute, nice effect, not a bad effect. It's only a rare, so that's good. Naturia Cherries. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard by your opponent's card, including by battle or card effect, or by being destroyed, you can special summon up to 2 Naturia Cherries from your deck in face down defense position. So that's good. You'll always have a Naturia on there. It'll help you stall too, I guess. Naturia Ragweed. When your opponent draws a card except during the draw phase, you can send this face-up card you control to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good because people usually, well, I don't know actually, because I don't believe searching cards is the same as drawing cards. So, like, I'm thinking Jar of Greed, Greed cards, Mores, Shard. There's a few cards that really let you get a free draw. Maybe that one card, you know what I'm talking about, that Archfiend card, the one you probably haven't heard of before. It's, whatever, who cares? MADOLCHE Marmalade, another MADOLCHE card. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, MADOLCHE effect, obviously. When this card is flipped face up, you can target 1 MADOLCHE spell trap card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Not a great effect, but 2000 defense. Old Vindictive Magician. Very old. Simple effect. Flip, target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. That's basically Man-Eater Bug. Man-Eater Bug, as we saw, was an ultra rare card. Here's your replacement. If you want Man-Eater Bug, Old Vindictive Magician basically does the same thing. It's good. You just can't target your own monsters, but it's good enough. Psychic Commander. When a psychic monster you control battles during the damage step, you can pay life points in multiples of 100, have the monster it's battling lose that much attack and defense until the end phase. So this is where that life point regeneration synchro monster card kind of kicks in, but even then, like, I'm not sure if you really want it. There's better ways to gain life points, honestly. Next we have Esper Girl. When this removed from play card is special summoned, remove from play the top card of your deck face down, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add that removed card to your hand. Dude, come on, too confusing. Just banish a card. It's like a very convoluted draw 1 card. That's it. Psychic Tracker. If you control a level 3 monster other than Psychic Tracker, you can special summon this card. Remember what I said about special summoning? Very good. This one has just 1 restriction of having a level 3 monster. You can special summon this card in defense position. You can only special summon a Psychic Tracker once per turn this way. A Synchro monster, so this one wants to be a Synchro material monster. Psychics, this is some good Psychic Synchro supports here. Very good. And we have Mech Knight's Avram. A normal card, but check this out! It has 2000 attack. 4-star with 2000 attack. Boy, remember the days when the ultra rare card had 1700 attack? Yeah, now look at us. Rare card with 2000 attack. Right off the gate. Oh man, how far we've come. How far we've come. So all those other 2000 attack beaters, who cares about them anymore? Unless you want to run a whole deck of just 2000 normal beaters. Alright, Golden Castle of Stromberg. This is the main Disney card. So let's see what it says. Once per turn during your standby phase, you must banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down. This is not optional, or this card is destroyed. During your main phase, you can special summon one monster from your deck that specifically lists Golden Castle of Stromberg in its text. You cannot normal summon or set the turn you activate this effect, even if this card leaves the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, destroy the attacking monster. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the attack of that monster had on the field. So, there's a lot to take with this card. First, let's focus on what you have to pay to use this card. 10 cards from the top of your deck banished. Face down, so you don't even know. It's like that one greed card that's out. You know, that newest card, greed card that came out. I'm blanking so hard on everything right now. There's a new greed card that does the same kind of deal to draw 2 cards. But anyway, 10 cards banished. That means you have maybe at most 2 uses of this card. So, make your moves count. They're really pushing for speed dueling at this point. Like, this is really pushing for speed dueling. It's kind of crazy. But, the effects of this card is really good. Special summon any card that lists this card in its text. We've already gone through a few of them. And once per turn, when opponent's monster declares any kind of attack, it's just destroyed. And they take damage equal to half that monster. So your opponent's not gonna fight back, unless they wanna lose a monster and take a little bit of damage on the side. But remember, that's only once per turn. They can always just power through it. I mean, heck, you've only got like 5 cards left in your deck. Why not just go for it, right? But that's a crazy card, to be honest. It's going to be very interesting to see what people can come up with, what kind of strategies can focus on this. There are cards that can help you recycle at least some of those banished cards back, although maybe not, because remember, these cards are being banished face down, which very few cards, I think, have synergy with face down banished cards. So we'll see. I don't know where that's going. I feel like it might be pretty good, but man, you gotta play fast. You've only got like 2 turns at most. Alright, so Iron Cage. When this card is activated, send one monster you control to the graveyard, or if Golden Castle Stromberg is in a field zone, you can send one monster from your opponent controls to the grave instead. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target the monster that was sent to the graveyard by this card's effect. Destroy this card, and if you do special summon one monster in your field, you can only activate Iron Cage once per turn. So, you can just really just send your opponent's monster to the grave. Yeah, it's pretty good. Telekinetic charging cell. You know, I had a dream the other day that telekinesis was like a real life thing. People just didn't know about it. And this acquaintance told me, like, hey, you know telekinesis is real, right? I'm like, no, shut up. You're a liar. he said, "No, it's real. Just try it." That's what he said. Just try it. So I tried it, and it turns out I was a natural. My whole life, I was a natural born telekinesis. It's like Carrie, pretty much. You know, without the prom thing. So that was the secret to telekinesis. People just didn't know to try. No, it was crazy. It was crazier in my dream because I was actually cool. Yeah. Anyway, equip only to a psychic type monster. You do not have to pay life points to activate its effects. When the equipped monster is destroyed and this card is sent to the graveyard, pay 1,000 life points to return this card to your hand. So lets you use psychic type monsters without losing a bunch of life points. NATURIA Sacred Tree. When this card is sent to the graveyard, add one NATURIA monster. You can only use one of the effects once per turn. Tribute. Special summon. It's more NATURIA support. What do you expect? I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. Past Image. Control a face-up psychic type monster. Target one monster your opponent controls. Banish it. During your next standby phase, it returns to. So, delay an opponent's monsters. It's fine. And then that's all the rare cards. And then we have some normal cards. I'm just gonna hand pick some of them out. Explosive Magician. You can remove 2 spell counters from your side of the field to select and destroy 1 spell or trap card monster your opponent controls. 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. It's like a weaker back row. It's like a weak back row removal. You have to synchro summon a card, and you have to remove 2 spell counters from somewhere. Note, this card does not hold spell counters, so you have to find it somewhere else. Not great. But here's the pumpkin carriage. Prinzessin you control can attack directly. Your opponent cannot target Golden Castle Stromberg you control with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by card effects, so this protects your Golden Castle and lets Princess attack directly. So good synergy there. From Naturia's Vein. Tribute this card, add 1 Naturia monster to negate the activation of your opponent's spell or trap card and destroy it. So tribute this and a Naturia monster. Not great. Dolce Bapple. Look at that. It's so cute. Who cares what it does? It's just cute. Magidog. Look at that good pupper. This card sent to the graveyard for synchro summon of a spellcaster type monster. You can select and add 1 field spell. Who cares? It's so bad. And look, Glass Slippers, the 3rd piece of Cinderella. If this card is equipped to a fairy type monster, it gains 1,000 attack. If this card is equipped to a non-fairy type monster, it cannot attack and loses 1,000 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster is destroyed, you can target 1 Prinzessin you control. Equip this card to that target. You can only use. Okay, so it hurts non-fairies badly, but it helps fairies. It is a great card for fairies in general, but you want to use it with Prinzessin to get the full effect. Okay, Mythical Bestiary, I guess. Whatever. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up card on the field that you can place a spell counter on. Place 2 spell counters on it. This owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect. You can special summon 1 monster from your deck that you can place a spell counter on. It's a very long-winded card that just helps you keep spell counters on your field. Let's see, what else? Power of the Guardians. If an attack is declared involving the equipped monster, place 1 spell counter on this card. The equipped monster gains 500 attack defense for each spell counter on this card. If the equipped monster would be destroyed, you can remove 1 spell counter instead. So, helps you support a monster. MADOLCHE Lesson. Target 1 MADOLCHE monster in your graveyard, so shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do, all MADOLCHE monsters you control currently gain 800 attack and defense, then you can shuffle 1 other monster from your graveyard into the deck. So that's your graveyard, quote, removal for MADOLCHEs, and it kind of supports them. That is a permanent 800 attack, I believe. So, that's good. Alright, so that's basically the whole box here. We have Naturias, we got some spellcasters, we got some psychics, and we got Stromberg. So what does this mean for us, really? If you don't have any of those cards, and if you don't plan to main any of those cards, then this mini box would be a hard pass. You don't have to bother with it. However, if you do have Madolches, congrats, you've played yourself. They're not good. They're fun, but they're not good. If you have Psychics, then very interesting choice for a beginner, but this would be a good box to delve into. In fact, I would say this is a must box to delve into. If you have Naturias, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air. I wouldn't. I would a little bit, but not a lot. And if you want to try out the Stromberg Disney cards, I don't know, man. That's on you, to be honest. So with that, Dimension of the Wizards, overall rating, I would say you can pass it. Unless you're going for Psychics. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you another day.